Okay. Okay, it's good. That's good. All right. Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Ed Loco, aka Juan Rodriguez. Today I bring to you guys episode 5 with my brother Rafa Rodriguez. Woo!
What's up? Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the
Of
invite.
course, of course. All right, well, for this episode, we're gonna have recap some fights, talk some fights, go in depth analysis. The usual. Let me give you guys a status update on how it's going with my training and my weight. I'm currently down. I finally hit past the 287 part where I couldn't get past before, but finally I'm down in the lower 180s. And yeah, just training hard. I kind of did struggle this past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I wasn't able to talk about it last episode, but I'm just giving it a bit. This episode, I kind of hurt my ankle. I don't know how, but it was just hurting with running and doing jump rope. So my main source of cardio was kind of getting in the way of me training, but I didn't let that stop me. So I just kept grinding and it worked out. I'm feeling better, so everything's going good now. So let's hope by the next time I see you guys, I'm finally hitting below the 180s. That's the goal. That's the goal. But let's talk first about the UFC Paris fights. I don't know if you want to take the first words here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been, I think I actually rewatched the fight card yesterday. And
Okay.
I actually just watched the fights that had finishes because I didn't want to, I didn't want to watch like the decision fights just because yesterday I just wanted to watch the ones that ended quickly. They were pretty good. The main card I did primarily watch like from Joaquin Buckley's fight to the main event. I did watch like all of the play. And actually, talking about the Joaquin Buckley fight is who did he fight? What was his name?
He fought a French dude. Let me see.
Imavov. No, it was Imavov. Yeah, he trains with Cyril Gane at is it MMA Masters, I believe?
Let me see.
Let me see if I can pull it up here quick.
Let me see. I'm trying to search it up too.
Okay, yeah. Nassourdine Imavov.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and they were pretty. Nassourdine was like he was fighting like emotional, I should say. Like he was mad. I guess I don't know. During that fight week, Joaquin Buckley was like talking.
I did hear they were talking some smack because you know how Joaquin can get. But yeah, and then I think also since he was fighting in his hometown, he wanted to get a finish too. That's what I think. Yeah. He was also fighting like that.
Yeah, it was the fight was. I mean, it was good. Was it Joaquin Buckley was more working moving around and trying to explode on Nassourdine. But Nassourdine was just you can tell the height difference was there. And he was just, I think Nassourdine was just waiting for that perfect shot to put him to sleep, because we have seen Joaquin Buckley has been finished, like when he fought Kevin Holland, he was finished there. But yeah, Nassourdine kind of stopped Joaquin Buckley's role, because I believe his previous fight he had won, or I don't know if he was on a 2-fight winning streak.
I think he was on a 4-fight winning streak, I think, because he was going on a good roll. I'm not sure.
It was 3. It was 3. Yeah. So if he would have won on Paris, it would have been 4th.
That would have been the 4th.
That would have been his 4th. But yeah, it was a good fight. And then Bobby Knuckles was just on a different. He was just quick. He seemed quick for Vettori, and it was just like Vettori was just, I guess, trying to walk him down and land that big punch, but Bobby Knuckles with the leg kicks and his speed, he would throw some punches and it was quick, and I was like, whoa, these are some good shots.
And then also with Robert Whittaker, he his combos, they're like simple combos too. You get me? Like he usually does like the 1-2, and then boom, he sets up for like a kick, and like it's all like he like does those like bursts of explosions, and he's able to do it all 3 rounds. So that's like that was
Yeah,
pretty good of him.
yeah, which is it's crazy because like when he fights Izzy, it's just I don't know, like
Mm-hmm.
the way that I mean, obviously each fight is different, but the way that he fought Vittori, just he didn't like incorporate any of those like the leg kicks that he usually does in almost every fight. Um, that he adds those, like he always uses those, and then I think Izzy's pretty tall for Whitaker, but like I think Whitaker threw one of those head kicks that he always throws, and it just like like Vittori had blocked it, and even though he blocked it, he still like pushed them and moved them. So I was just like, it's crazy that some of those movements and techniques that work for the other middleweights, it just is he's just I guess slightly ahead of him in
Yeah,
that respect.
I want to say also for like with the whole Izzy thing with how he fought him. Honestly, I guess he was like just scared of just fully committing to rushing in because in
Yeah,
their first fight he
he was
just wanted to go in, and that's what like got him knocked out. So in the second fight, he was way more cautious, but I mean he was trying, but it wasn't enough to get the itch. I think he won, but like it wasn't enough for everyone could see that he could win,
yeah
especially the judges. But
yeah
yeah,
yeah. It's just it's hard to know with judging in the fighting. Like the fighters, it's you can think you're up, but then you're actually down, and
yeah,
it's hard. That's why I don't know. Like I've been watching like Ariel Helwani's MMA hour. Like I've been
uh-huh,
watching that ever since he came back, since August of last year, I believe.
uh-huh.
And I've just been watching that, and he just talks about open scoring and how he thinks. And I actually kind of agree with him that open
Okay.
scoring may be beneficial for the fighters. Because yeah, like uh, like Bobby Knuckles thought he was up, but not he wasn't because the
It was,
judges obviously gave it to Izzy. So it's like and and a big argument against like I guess open scoring, or the one
sure.
that I only hear is that it'll cause fighter like whoever's in the lead will
Uh-huh.
cause them to like coast. But
Uh, yeah, me personally, I don't think they should have the scoring, but like, it's like probably it is kind of that's a big reason because like you will see you can't see even like fighters even now whenever they know they're up, they're not really giving it their full best sometimes. That's how I see it sometimes. Like not all the fighters, but there's some of those fighters that are like, oh, they're like, okay, I'm up 2 rounds. Like a big example of this was Aljamain Sterling and Piotr Jan. Aljamain Sterling, he said he did enough to win the first round, I guess, and then he brought, and in the second round, twos and three, he won those clearly. In round 4 and 5, he did not try anything. Like I did not see him do anything that was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna win the whole fight. Like he clearly lost those 2 rounds, and it looked like he gave him those last 2 rounds. So that's why I think open scoring is kind of dumb because it's also like a mental game. Like with like boxing and MMA, whenever you don't know who's up in the judges, and it keeps you more like it keeps you more at edge if you're like, okay, dude, are they scoring it the same as me? Are they not? And then there'll be like those arguments where like, oh, this fighter got robbed and blah blah blah, and then like a lot of people will agree, but like whenever it's like those like 50-50 fights where it could just go anywhere, which just keeps the stakes high. But I
well,
mean that's
I think the argument that I would pose towards that is like I don't know if that is true that fighters do like some fighters do coast, but like I want to say that like not all the fighters are gonna coast if they're ahead. Like I want to say that I actually think it would up the stakes in some fights because it's like if one of the fighters thinks they're ahead and then they actually see in the scores that th're ahead,
mhm.
then they should also think like, okay, well, my opponent knows they're down. They're gonna
Okay.
try to come and throw the kitchen sink at me, and they're gonna try to finish me. So I would say that the fighter that's ahead would be more defensively and trying to like not get KO'd or submitted or whatever it is in that matter. And then the fighter that's down is like, what? I thought I was winning.
Yeah.
Obviously the judges aren't giving it to me, so now I'm gonna go for the finish on this guy. So it like I think it'd be more cool there because it's like, okay, well this guy is gonna try to be, this guy's not gonna try to get knocked out. This guy's gonna try to knock him out. So I think it'd be slightly like there. I don't think most of the fights would coast. Like when was it? Like one of the reasons I also bring that up is like
Uh-huh.
in one of the fight nights, Song, he had fought. I think the fighter's name was Brandon Phillips, and
Okay.
I had watched one of the UFC Connecteds, like one of their on YouTube and whatnot, and they were like talking about that fight, and Song just misunderstood because he trains with Uriah Faber,
Okay.
so Song's Chinese, so he hasn't still learned English as much.
Uh-huh.
So in the corner, from the second round to the third round, Uriah or Uriah
Some
Faber
oh,
was telling him, or he was telling him like, "Hey, you're down. Like, I need you to go for the finish."
okay.
But Song actually misinterpreted him and thought that he said you're up 2 rounds.
No.
So then, like there, it's kind of like he thought he was up, and then even in the third round, he still brought it to Phillips, and
Uh-huh.
like he still brought it up toward him, and Uriah Faber was like, "Damn, I should have kind of started saying that stuff since the first round," because he was like, he saw that in the third round he was like trying to finish him and just pushing the pace and trying to win the fight. So it was kind of like there. Then maybe he could have like had he had that open scoring, he could have seen like, well, my coach isn't telling me that I'm up. Obviously, I'm down. So
Mhm.
there, maybe like it could have cleared that misconception. But I don't know. I still think that like open scoring would be pretty cool. I mean, just to have, and I mean, well, yeah, because I mean, like other arguments that I've seen is just like, oh, well, it takes away that the surprise factor at the end. That like who's gonna win or who was winning or whatnot. I
Yeah.
mean, that is true, but like I don't know, like I feel like that would add more to the fight itself because it's like, okay, well, we know who's ahead. Let's see how they're gonna try to take this next round, or let's see what they're gonna try to change up so that they can get the win by finish or whatever it is. But I mean, obviously it's not gonna be implemented anytime soon, but it'd
Yeah.
be cool to see what it'll do. But yeah, and then the after that fight, what is it?
So
Tuivasa
gone.
and Gan.
So gone.
That was actually a good fight. I want to say round two. I was watching
Oh.
it, and then in round two, just
Oh my God.
Tuivasa just drops Gan, and I'm like, what the heck? Like it was
Yeah.
crazy because well, I don't think we've ever seen Gan be
That
dropped.
hurt.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
yeah, and
He was out. Like you just saw him. He just got hit. Like he
boom.
walked into the punch and boom, he just fell down. But I guess like that falling down into that impact is what kind of woke him up too. You know,
Yeah,
because
and
he's
it was yeah, well, I mean, Gon was just using his movement and the leg kicks. Those body kicks were affecting Tuivasa. Like it was just it was crazy. Like
yeah.
I thought he was gonna get finished by body kicks. Because he just
Oh
kept
yeah.
hitting that spot.
Yeah, there were some hard kicks, and they were right on the spot too. He was just, oh my god, yeah. I did feel that too, but yeah, Tuivasa's determination, man. It was just like I'm not gonna stop, and
Yeah, and the coach in the mid in between rounds was just telling him like, don't try to show you're tough. Like we know you're tough already. Like he
uh-huh.
was more just trying to get him to still act with the game plan, but I guess
Yeah,
Bam Bam just wanted to show
his
his grit.
excitement. He was
Yeah,
just too
and
excited.
and I mean that finish was just that right hook that got to Ivasa. It
Oh,
was just perfectly placed, and then
Yeah, it
the
was beautiful
the three
technique.
the three punches that followed
Boom.
were like what kind of started him to go down. There was that back of the head, like it was just that hammer
Yeah.
fist to the back of the head. I was just like, damn.
You know,
But
it's not necessary at all. You just
yeah,
saw him go like boom, and like it was intentional too. Like he knew what he was gonna do because like who's gonna throw it back to the fist just like that, you know? It was like going especially towards the head, but apparently the didn't cost him anything, so props to him, I guess. But that's
yeah. I
kind of
mean, well, I think it was already while Tuivasa was already going down. Like, I mean, obviously we don't want to condone
uh
hits to
huh.
the back of the head, but it was just like you like. I don't think that that's what was like. Okay, because of this, that's what garnered the finish. Like, it was more like he already threw 3 4 punches before that, and Tuivasa was already going down, so it was kind of like we can't just put the blame on that back of the head, the back fist or the hammer fist to the back of the head. That's what caused the finish. I don't think, at least that's not where I'm putting it at. It was
Uh
just
huh.
the good punches before that is what caused them to go down, and I mean we'll see. I actually want to see what they do with Tuivasa because the heavyweight division is
Yeah, it's getting stacked
in
up.
limbo right now since they're waiting on. Primarily, they're just waiting on Ngannou to come back, or if he's
Yeah.
gonna
And
resign.
John Jones too. They keep talking about him if he's gonna return or not.
Well, they
So
want.
there's all
I'm
of that.
pretty sure they want to do Francis Ngannou versus John Jones for the heavyweight title.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's the one that they want to do because obviously John Jones has said like either titles or the best in the heavyweight
I think he's
mixed.
gonna. I personally think they're gonna give John Jones Stipe, to see like what's up. Especially because I feel they don't want to just throw in John Jones with Ngannou right away. Like I feel they want them to have John Jones to be successful. So you want to throw him like Stipe, who's like coming off that that title loss, and who knows like what would happen between them two. That's why like that's an exciting fight to watch, and I want to see that because I'm personally going for Stipe to win that because I think he's
Yeah,
he's the best heavyweight out there. But yeah, I feel with John Jones, it's really I feel they are waiting. They are waiting, I guess, for like Stipe or something. I don't know. There's like that big debacle going on, but I don't feel he would throw him right away with Ngannou, especially since he's not a heavyweight fighter. It will probably be his first fight going there, so I don't think they just want to throw him in. Boom, like fight Ngannou, the champion.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think if they do Ngannou versus Jones, I'm pretty sure they might do Stipe versus Gon because
Oh,
Gon after the win, he was like, "Oh yeah, I want a title shot," and I was like, I mean, like your
you
previous
just
fight, you lost, and
yeah.
then you're just coming off a win against um Tuivasa. So I was like, I don't know if that garners like just one win and then you're back to title contention. Like I would at least say like, okay, if he does want a title shot, then let's go with fight Stipe
Uh huh.
to prove that you are, the creme de la creme, or even Gone versus uh the one that fought Tommy Aspinall, Curtis Blades.
Curtis
I
Blades.
mean, because I mean, we saw in the previous fight, Ngannou Nurmagomedov, Francis
Yeah, yeah.
Nurmagomedov wrestle him. So I mean, it'd be good to see like, hey, okay, let's see how he does against another wrestler. Because I mean, Tuivasa was a striker, not really known for wrestling. So
Uh huh.
it'd be
And
good to
also
see.
he with his striking too. It's not like the most like the beautiful striking. It's more like I'm just gonna swing at you,
Yeah,
kind of striking,
yeah.
like the
So
dirty boxing style.
yeah, so I mean, there's different matchups that can be made. Ngannou Jones or Ngannou Stipe for the trilogy,
Uh huh.
or yeah, Jones versus Stipe. If Ngannou is gonna take longer than a year, then Jones versus Stipe for the interim, or you know, uh, Stipe versus Gon for an interim, or I mean, because we still have to wait for Tommy Aspinall to come back, and he was on a roll before that injury against Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades. I feel
So they
I
can
feel
even
they should throw Tom Aspinall and Taito Ivasa. Like I
yeah.
know they're both prospects, like to fight there, but I feel they should throw them together, because they're still young and they can fight again too.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean, that's yeah. And they're both coming off of their well, Tommy Aspinall, even though it was like an injury, they are coming off of losses, both of them. So it'd be cool to see who can bounce back towards the top of the division. But yeah, it's all depend. Well, I mean, I guess they're just really waiting on what Francis Ngannou does with if he's gonna resign or not. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He's really fighting for more what is it? More fighter rights, I guess, in the contract.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the money. I want to say it's more like the
no, it is. It is the money. It is the money because if it wasn't the money, he wouldn't be complaining about it or like saying like, "Oh, I want to go into boxing." Oh, let me fight Tyson Fury and make a couple $1 million. Like it is about the money. Like they clearly show it. He clearly shows it's that because if it wasn't, then you would just stay quiet. Like I mean, there's other there's other champions that are making as much as he is, and you don't see them complain as much. So,
well, I think it's more about the like being able to do different avenues. Like Ngannou does want to box, but he also still wants to fight for the UFC. So I think that from what I've only seen it in like when he's done interviews with at Ariel Hawani's show at the MMA Hour. Like I've only like he has talked about he wants more. Uh, what is it? Like more. The word I'm
more
looking.
freedom.
Yeah,
More
more freedom, or yeah, more like ways to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do obviously my MMA fights with the UFC, but I want to do some boxing, or I mean, I guess for this case, it's just boxing that he wants to do. So I guess he wants to do both, and I guess he's fighting for being able to do both at the same time, and not just okay, you're just gonna do MMA and you can't do anything else until you finish your contract. So I think he's fighting for that type of freedom. And I mean, who doesn't want more money? But yeah, like I don't know. I think who it was in. I think you had brought it up in your previous episode, and
Oh,
like
between the boxers, the all the YouTube boxers, the people from YouTube that are going into boxing, and we're all like, and we had a said that like we agreed that they're all doing it for the money.
I was actually talking about like
Oh,
fighter, I guess fighter pay, and when the fighters sign
UFC
the
fighter pay.
contract or whatnot, and I actually do agree with that. Like they do know. I guess if
They know
they're
how much they're
managed
gonna
by
get paid.
someone, they do know what they're signing up for. So it's kind of like
They're getting themselves in that pickle.
yeah, or I mean, if you want to make more money, then just like I guess in the talking phases of the contract, like that's where you would bring it up. But I mean, it's I would at least if I was in that endeavor, like I would just fight to put my name out there, and there be then able to like talk about increasing my pay or whatever, or just fight out the contract and then propose a new price or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, also there is those fighters that kind of get that leeway where they can, they have like a more of a relationship with Dana White and well, like Hunter and all the other guys, where like the main guys are in charge of that, and you see that they make some exceptions where they can like, oh, okay, my. All right, guys. Sorry for those technical difficulties. I was struggling with the other camera I had and the whole online. I just have to say, fuck Spectrum Internet. It's horrible. Don't get it, guys. Or if you guys have it, it sucks. But yeah. Let's get back to what we were talking about with the
Spectrum's gonna take you down now. Your video.
Oh my god, so many problems, bro. But with them, but it's whatever. Uh, but all right. We were talking about the UFC fighter pay. I forgot where exactly we were on. Where it was. I know I had said. Do you know exactly what it was?
Kind of like the well, the UFC sometimes has some of their favorites.
Yes. Okay. So there's like those fighters that they can get to negotiate their contracts, and even like Loki, they've said it too. Well, they didn't say it, but this is like I'm saying this because that's what I found out with Nate Diaz that before when he made that crazy call out to fight Conor McGregor, he's like, oh, Conor McGregor, blah blah blah, and then that bumped him up super crazy, and then they wanted to make that fight with him, but whenever they offered him the first fight, it was on kind of short notice, so they gave him the thing to offer him. I want to say with the same they kept the same fights that he had left, but the thing was they offered him like $1 million, way more than what he had than what he fought his last fight, so it was like, oh, you see that there, the guy was all like able to negotiate his contract when other fighters aren't able to negotiate how many fights they have left or how much money they're gonna get paid, because there's those fighters that are like crazy big already, and they've said themselves that they don't get as much money. Maybe I wouldn't see why they would lie about that. So I would see that they're telling the truth with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I feel like it's just the big names are the ones that kind of talk about that, or at least say that they're not getting paid or whatever it is. So, I mean, I would just like be like, fight out your contract then, and then because like by fighting, you're obviously gonna put your name out there and show like that you do deserve, based on your skills, you do deserve the bigger
Money.
bumps in money. So I don't know. I mean, it is like, yeah, it's like you sign up for it, so it's just like either sign up for like a shorter amount of fights or just put up. Yeah, I mean, it really is just how good that fighter is known, and yeah, as well as the negotiation behind it. Yeah.
But our let me switch topics into boxing, bro. We're Mexicans. We have to talk about one of the best Mexicans out there to be fighting, especially to this. Well, at the moment, if people consider him the pound for pound boxer. People consider him the pound for pound Mexican champion. Even though he did show a way better, more aggressive style this fight. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Canelo, of course. He recently fought Triple G with their trilogy fight. It was a really different output from their first two fights. What are your thoughts on how the fight went and how everything just ended up playing?
Yeah, well, I actually thought like from the first round to round number 9, Canelo was just like he was more aggressive. He was throwing more punches, and Triple G just seemed like he was. I don't know what he just seemed like he was waiting for something, or just
he was gun shy
for the green light or whatever it is. But in round 9, that's when like Triple G started to like push the pace more, and he was. I don't know. I'd probably have to rewatch the fight, but at the time, I had given rounds 9 and I want to say 10 to Triple G. But I'd probably have to rewatch it to see if I still remain with that verdict. But yeah, it just there in those 2 rounds, I was like, if he would have probably fought like this either from round 2 or from the very beginning, it would have probably been a closer fight. But yeah, it was you could obviously like there is no way that anyone can say Canelo like was gonna like lost. Like it was a good showcase, and it was pretty I guess dominant, because he did win all of it. Well, some people will give him all of the rounds, and or the majority of them. So it was pretty it was a pretty good performance from
Canelo.
Canelo. We'll see what it. I mean, I don't know if he should go up to 175. We could. I
Uh,
mean, he fought. Who is it? I forgot the fighter's name, but
Sergey
before he fought,
Kovalev.
yeah,
That's who
he
he fought.
obviously finished him at 175, but uh, that was just that fight, and then against Dimitri Bivol. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think he should go up because I don't think he'd win just because Dimitri Bivol just used his jab. He really just beat him with the basics. And
But yeah, he did. But at the same time, that's kind of his style of fighting. Because I kind of started watching more of his highlights of Bivol because he's fighting another Mexican boxer, El Zurdo. So we're gonna see how that fight turns out. I mean, I'm going for Zurdo, of course, because gotta go for the Mexicans. But Dimitri Bivol, he does have that fight style of like just boom. I'm gonna keep you in range, and then if I need to go in, I'm gonna go in and then out. That 1-1-2, 1-2-3,
yeah,
1-2. Those simple
yeah,
combos, and he pulls them off perfectly, bro. It's like crazy. It's crazy how like such simple combos can get you to win the whole fight. Especially if you can, like, it's like you're doing the same thing, but you're mixing them all up. Not using them at the same time repetitively and all of that. So that was a really interesting how you focus on some fighters because they really don't get the shine usually, but like once you really see how good they are, then you're like, okay, this guy, he's not popular, but he has some good talent.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Canelo does because
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably want to be going. He probably will want that rematch against Bivol. But he's probably gonna wait to see what ends up happening with his fight against Zurdo. So it'll be interesting what Canelo does. I mean, because he could just stay at 168 and then just defend the
Defend.
titles, but like he says, he just wants challenges now. So I don't know who. I mean, unless someone in the 168-pound division there just really makes a name and proves to be a good challenge against Canelo. I don't know. I do. I feel like he's gonna go up to get that rematch because I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do another Triple G fight because I mean he
Yeah.
won this previous one clearly. And
There's no need
yeah,
because technically because they gave him the second one too, so like it's like okay, you're already up two. There's
yeah,
no need. There's gonna be not like people. Some people will watch it, but it's not gonna be as much as anticipation as this one.
yeah,
Yeah, it was really disappointing seeing how Triple G fought. I was expecting like an all-out war because oh my god, because they like to talk so much shit, and then
yeah,
some one guy decides not to perform. Especially because Triple G. Yeah, I mean, I said this before. I like watching the way he fights and just seeing how he fought this time. I was like, this is not the guy I watch fight. It's like, come on, man, like just put on the show for everyone. You're getting money. With the
yeah. And
worst. Go for it.
I don't think I don't think either of them would have been stopped. I think it
Mm.
would just like if it would have turned into a slugfest, it would have been nice because I don't think. Well, yeah, and then I don't think any of them have been lost by stoppage. So, and like we saw in the first and second fight, like both of them threw some bombs and they took
Yeah.
them and still pushed forward. So it would have been nice. And I mean, who knows? This fight was like 4 years after the second
Uh-huh.
Canelo Triple G fight. So who knows? Maybe if they would have done it a couple years back, who knows? Maybe it would have been that barn burner that everybody was expecting. But
Yeah, like if they would, and then also a big difference too was the weight because 168 is not Triple G's weight, so
yeah,
it's like maybe like oh what if he was just not used to being this higher weight? He felt heavier. He just couldn't let go, get that rhythm going.
yeah.
It's
Because were the first two at 160?
Yeah, they were at 160. They were at the division lower.
Yeah, it would. I mean, that'd been interesting to see how the fight would have been if it would have been at 160, or maybe
Yeah.
Canelo just maybe couldn't make 160.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted
He
to
got
make
used
that
to
weight
it.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you go up in weight, it really like the chances of you going back down are really low because like either you went up for a reason, you know.
yeah.
Like I don't know if you like how we recently saw Shakur Stevenson. He missed weight at
Yeah, he missed weight by a pound and 1.6, a pound and
1.6.
6 ounces or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it was just he would like like in the what was it in the like stare down, like he was talking and talking, and then he goes and misses weight, so it was
wait,
just like,
yeah.
come on,
Come
bro.
on.
I mean, obviously he did put a good performance, but it was just like what was in the back of everybody's mind is like, this guy missed weight, so
Yeah,
he
he's gonna
just
be heavier.
yeah. So it was. I mean, it was a good performance. I did feel like he could have probably stopped it, but
Mm-hmm.
Conceição was just he was just moving more. In the yeah, he was just moving a lot more.
Uh-huh.
Because Shakur was catching him, and
Yeah, he's throwing some good
he was catching him, and I think he did drop him once and whatever. Besides when he like freaking shoved him down or whatever, I was just like, dang, this is about
Yeah.
to turn into an MMA fight.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really interesting to see Shakur going up to 135. You know, that division's the stackedest one, so we'll see what happens there.
Devin Haney and Kambosos is gonna happen,
Yeah,
and
there.
then we have
Who are you
Lomachenko
going for
also
that
fighting.
rematch for Cambosos and
Just
Heaney?
I think Devin Haney's gonna take it again because the first fight was just I don't even think
There was
you like. There's no way you could say Kambosos was
yeah, he wasn't even close.
like you can't say it was a close fight. Kambosos thought it was a close fight, but I didn't think it was a close fight. Devin Haney just
He won
he
every
used
round.
his height and the jab and kept him at a distance, and he used that really well to win against the Cambosos. And I don't think we've ever seen Devin Haney hurt, so it's not like Cambosos can throw that power shot to hurt him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just a weird development because like Teofimo beat Lomachenko, but then Cambosos beat Teofimo, and then but now Devin Haney beat Cambosos. So and it's not like we're gonna see. I don't think Teofimo's gonna go back down
yeah,
because
he
he
said he
said
doesn't
that.
want to go back down.
Yeah, he said that the fight against the Cambosos was just hard on the weight cut or whatever it was. So
And all their
yeah, it's not like
excuses,
we're
but
gonna get if we get that rematch, it'll probably be at a higher weight. And then yeah, and then who else? I actually think Teofimo and Ryan Garcia are in the same weight class. I think at 140.
yeah, because Ryan Garcia went up, and he doesn't want
Yeah,
to go back down either.
yeah, I don't think, and there that's what's gonna be hard because I don't think like if we stick with Ryan Garcia, like the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis fight, like I don't think
Yeah,
it'll
I don't think
happen
it's
just because Gervonta's going to be like, I want to stay here at 135, and then Ryan Garcia's going to be like, well, I want to stay here at 140. So it'll be hard unless they come up with like some like catch weight thing, like 137 or something like that. I don't know.
that's smart. That's
It'll
smart.
be weird. But yeah, I honestly don't think that fight will happen unless one of them is like, all right,
I have to actually
agree
go
with
to
that.
this weight.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, it'll be interesting with that Shakur move up. Like, what'll happen if he fight? I mean, he wants to fight Devin Haney already, or he wants to fight the winner of Haney versus Cambosos. Which
I
mean,
feel I feel a good fight for Shakur would be a lot of people I've been seeing on like Twitter and Instagram when they put Shakur should fight Gervonta Davis. That's who they want to see him fight, and like
yeah,
it'll really put the test to see how really he is, if he's like in that high level in the 135, or
yeah,
if it's gonna take him time to be there.
yeah. It'll be there's some interesting matchups, right? Because it's Shakur's going up, and then there's Javante, and then
Loma,
with Demahimi Cambosos, and then we have Loma.
El
I think
Cruz,
that's about it.
Pitbull,
Oh yeah,
Cruz. He's a
yeah.
killer. He's a killer.
Jojo,
But they don't give him
Jojo
much
Diaz,
credit. What?
Jojo Diaz, I think.
Jojo Diaz. Yeah, but Jojo Diaz, like, what's bad for him is that he already lost to Devin Haney. So it's
Oh, that's
like it's kind of harder for him to get that big bump up,
yeah.
For Jojo Diaz. Yeah, but let's make the switch back to the 135 in UFC, for the MMA. Corey Sandhagen, he fought Sonya Dawn. That was a really good fight.
It was a good fight because
That was a really good fight.
Sandhagen was just using his movement, and you can obviously tell that power wasn't gonna stop. Like Sandhagen doesn't have that power to stop Song, so he was just using his movement and distance, and then the elbows. That upwards elbow that he threw, is what won him the fight. So it was nice to see, and like Song was just a machine, just going forward
Just
and
walking him down.
punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see that with Song because he was just going through. But I feel Corey, he could have done some things as he would faint to go down. And then how Sonya Dong was basically reacting because Sonya Dong stuffed every takedown that Corey threw, because Corey's not known for being on the ground. So that was
you just do this, and then Song would easily sprawl.
Yeah,
on the quicks. I was like, that's a quick sprawl. So he could have probably incorporated, I don't know, a knee or something to Song's going down and then catch him with the knee or something.
That was a weird approach, but I guess also since since you're just going there and just throwing hands, because he hurt Corey Sandhagen, I want to say 2 times. There was that one, especially when Corey Sandhagen's losing balance and he's just walking back, so you can tell Song had the power there, and that was an interesting fight. No, that was interesting, but what's next for Corey? They gave him 2 options, or he thought of 2 options, which was Merab or Chito Vera. What do you think of those options for him?
I think stylistically, Corey Sandhagen versus Chito Vera is a better matchup just because they're both going to be standing. And again, Chito Vera has good takedown defense. He has good takedown defense. So if Corey Sandhagen's going to try to take him down, it'd be interesting to see how Vera can null that. But in terms of striking, I'd prefer that matchup because of the striking between Sandhagen and Vera. Because I don't know, Merab is just, obviously we know he's just gonna grapple, so it's kind of I would like to see his striking, Merab's striking. So in terms of skill development, Corey Sandhagen versus Merab, it'd be, I guess, cool to see how can Sandhagen fight when there's takedowns involved against him, and then how can Merab fight when the striking is higher for his opponent. But yeah, I don't know. Merab's on a, I think, is it 9 or 10 fight win streak or something like that?
Damn, I didn't know he had that many. I thought it was 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought he had 6. I'm not sure, 6 or it's just up there. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I feel Merab, they should do Corey and Chito, because that would be a really interesting fight, and gotta go for my boy Chito, just saying. But I feel they should do Sonya Dong and Merab. That would be okay. He was doing good on the floor, or stuffing the takedowns from Corey, which is a guy that wasn't used for them. How can he do against a guy that's known for taking you down. How good would his takedown defense be? And if he does stuff him, then we can see Marab striking, and see if Sanya Dong can capitalize on that. So that's what I would hope to see. Because they're also top contenders. Sanya Dong, he put up. It was a doctor stoppage. If they would have let him, like, he would have continued towards the fifth round, and who knows what would have happened there. But he's still up there as a top fighter. Because you saw Corey lose. He lost his past two fights. He lost them. If I'm correct, the past two fights back and back, he lost them, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, like this guy's already." Yeah, they were like, "Oh, okay, like this is already going down." Like his hype is over. But then you see him beat against the top prospect. So even like, especially in you see this a lot in UFC. You can take a loss and still like come back stronger.
Yeah. It's an 8-fight winning streak for Merab, but Corey has the loss to Dillashaw and Yan, so it'd be cool to see, like, okay, let's see how he fares against more top guys in the division. So, I mean,
yeah,
I'd prefer Corey Sandhagen versus Chito Vera, just because I think that'd be an
exciting fight,
scrappier fight. Than against Merab. I mean, but then again, like, let's say they do make Corey versus Vera, like, what would they do with Merab? Because it's kind of like Jose Aldo retired, and then Pedro Munoz is recovering from his eye injury, the eye poke, and then we have Peter against Sean O'Malley. So it's I don't know. Let's see who he has, because I don't think the only top contenders that he's fought is
Merab?
Yeah, Merab. I think it's just Jose Aldo.
It's just been Jose Aldo. I think he knocked out who's that fighter? Moraes.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Moraes. Everyone knocked out Moraes, and then everyone knocked out Moraes.
Yeah, he has a win against John Dodson, and then Corey Stamen, and then Moraes and Jose Aldo. So it's kind of, I mean, like, he is on that 8-fight winning streak, but it's like he hasn't really fought some of those top guys. So it's like, I mean, they can give him a top guy.
Yes, so. Talking about that with like fighters that have big win streaks, you see they're like all these like. I don't know, I see it more with Russian fighters. They'll be fighting more people that are not ranked as high as them, and then somehow they get like a big boost. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's at a like 8-fight win streak, 10-fight win streak, and give him a title shot." But then you see his resume, and you're like, "Okay, yeah, he fought one guy that was here, blah blah blah. This guy that was whatever. This guy is like not close enough." Like where's the top contender fighters, and the other guy I'm talking about that's the Russian fighter, is of course Islam Makhachev.
It's Islam, bro. Like or even like Khabib, like Khabib, one of those stories where it's like, what could have happened had he not retired and still fought? Because I mean, obviously he has wins over Edson Barbosa. He did beat RDA, but it was I want to say is like when it was his decline, because RDA was not the champion anymore at that time.
I saw this when he fought RDA. It was before they were both jumped into like, oh, like who's next for the title? It was like way before they were both up there.
Oh really? Oh,
yes. That's when they fought. But like, still, you get me. Like, it wasn't RDA championship like level still,
right. Yeah, because RDA did dominate Anthony Pettis at that time.
Yeah, and he destroyed him.
But, I mean, yeah, like he fought Dustin Poirier and then Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, his last
He,
fights were okay. They were
they
reasonable.
were,
They were like okay. He fought the best of the best that were up there. But then you saw his way going up there. He didn't fight the best of the best. He fought just casuals. Guys that are just like getting their fights. Can't really get that push or that break to take off. So he doesn't. His resume going up there wasn't the best. Yeah, the fights, well, of course, because when you're champion, you have to fight the best of the best. But going up there was like, come on, man. Like even for the title, he ended up fighting Al Quenta, which was like, come on, the guy was a ranked team.
yeah, he was in a. I mean, I think he was ranked. I think he was ranked 10th or
10.
11th at the time.
Yeah, he was.
But
Yeah,
well, I mean, yeah, I guess we are starting to get into the top 10. But it's like if we look at his record, like from Michael, he beat Michael Johnson, then Edson Barbosa, then Ale Quinta, and then Conor McGregor, and then Dustin Poirier, and then Justin Gaethje. So like from there, that's where he started to rack up those top contenders. That's where he's adding it to his resume. But it's just like one of those things where like what could have been like Tony Ferguson, how would he have against him? Michael Chandler is now in the mix, so it's like, oh well how could he have done?
and as
well
well too. Who?
Charles, how could he have done against Charles? Now that he's on this good fight win streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because with that, and you see Charles when he went on his win streak, at the beginning he wasn't fighting at I think it was like his first 4 fights. He wasn't fighting really the best going up in that streak, but then he really started taking a spin and he started fighting fighters like Kevin Lee, who was still a big name there. And then after Kevin Lee, I forgot who who else did he fight. Let me go see it real quick. But I know he fought some really
Kevin Lee and then
guys.
Tony Ferguson after.
Oh, okay, so it was Tony Ferguson right after. And it was like there's those 2 fighters, and then after that, well, he got that Michael Chandler fight, and then he beat Dustin and Gaethje with a good fashion. So I know he fought more top guys. Let me see real quick. Where is this?
Well, he has a win against Clay Guida, Jim Miller, but the big those are known names, right? Clay Guida and Jim Miller, but they're not really in that top 5 we can say, or top 10. But yeah, Kevin. He's also on a good win streak. And most of the names here, you can say okay, I know who that fighter is. Clay Guida, Jim Miller, Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, and it's for Islam,
Islam. The only 2 fighters that were ranked for Islam was 2 fights that were what was it, that were short notice because both of his fighters they got injured, and the fights that replaced them, they were top guys, which one of them was a top guy, which was Dan Hooker, but he was coming off of loss, so probably there was a lot going on in his head. And then the next one was Bobby Green, but Bobby Green was he's just a fighter that's he's what term do they say? That they talking smack, and they say this term. He's just I know Kobe says this word a lot. It's the fighters it's I forgot the word. Give me 1 second.
Walk the walk.
Yeah, no, guys. That his name is He's a journeyman. He's just a journeyman. He just fights. He just fights whatever fight. He's a journeyman. And Bobby Green, which then he beats Bobby Green super fight. It's super close, and there was a short notice, and then he got a title shot. But then you see Bobby Green, come on, that guy, they gave him a lot of hype for nothing. This guy's all this and all that, all of this and all that. They gave him so much hype, just I guess because he was gonna fight Makachev. And then look at him now. He's testing positive for PEDs. Come on, bro.
Well, it's not like, I mean, if you've seen the video, he just really just didn't do his research. In other words, like it was just uh,
I fucked
he
up. Like, no shit, dog.
yeah, he
Uh,
was like he even said it. He's like, I didn't do my research, but he's like, oh, I don't do my research because like I don't do PEDs, so why should I do my research? But it's like, I mean, if you're gonna be in the USADA pool, like you at least have to know like
what's
what they
legal and
tell,
what's
like
not?
what's banned and what you should avoid. So it's kind of like he was like, oh yeah, I was watching this TikTok or these YouTube videos, and this guy was recommending this stuff, but I didn't do my research, and then I get banned. So it's like, bro, like at least
Come on.
like, hey, this person online is saying that this helps me in my sleep, but it's like, okay, let me see if this vitamin or whatever it was like is like it's not banned. And I mean, surely enough, like the one that I think it was like DHA or whatever it was, and it's like uh, they tell them like, yeah, this is in our ban list. It's like, bro, come on, like at least, or I don't know. I mean, at least do your research. It's like
It's
because
funny because who was he supposed to fight?
Jim Miller, I believe.
Jim Miller. What's it
I think it was
called?
supposed to be in the. I don't know if it was in the Sanhagen song fight,
Uh-huh.
um, fight night, or if it's in this one, the
I
the
think it was in the
new
more
one,
recent
Mackenzie
one.
Dern against Jan. But yeah, I think it was this previous fight night that had happened. I think a week ago or so. But
No, yeah, let me tell
it's
you a
just
funny thing though. Let me tell you. Bobby Green, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast, and then I listened to it. I was like, okay, I have time to listen to it, and I watched the whole thing. And then it reminds me whenever they flagged him for the for the pool, is that he was talking about Joe Rogan, that the um fighters that fight that are from Thailand, or they're in Thailand, that they're just using all the drugs. And then he's all like, how do you know? Like, Joe was like, oh, how do you know this? He's like, it's just known. It's just known. And then you just see him get flagged for this, too. So I'm like, what? It's like, come on, bro. Like, you can say your excuses, but at the same time, there's like other stuff going on. But that was funny because as soon as I saw that post, when they're like, this guy got flagged, it just like that memory of him saying like, yeah, it's known that they take PEDs in like Tiger Muay Thai. I was like, what? How do you know, bro? And he's like, ah.
yeah, it's just I don't know. He just made a rookie move. I guess just didn't do his research.
He ain't got that secret juice, bro.
Oh, Paulo Costa. I really do want them to make that Paulo Costa versus Chimaev fight. That'll be
Yeah,
a good fight.
that one's gonna be really good. Especially when Chimaev's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight at 185. Because then it's like his hype's still there for Chimaev. People are now gonna want him to see lose, and then especially with Paulo Costa, everyone loves him now. So it's
I
like
know.
the good guy
It's
versus
funny,
bad guy.
man.
So yeah, that fight, they should book that fight. They should book it in Brazil too. It would be
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
but I
pretty cool.
mean, yeah, they're like still finishing up with that Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. Like, I mean, his only like from Arman Sarukian. From there, like he beats Arman Sarukian and then Drew Dober, but they're like those two are like in the top 15. I want to say, so it's kind of like, I mean, there's still no, like he doesn't have that many wins against people that are in the top 10. Because,
Yeah.
well, yeah, Dan Hooker, I don't think is in the top 10 of, or he
Right
might
now
be in
he's
the
at 14.
yeah. So, and then like Bobby Green, I don't think is in the top 10.
Nah, that dude's gone.
Or yeah, I don't. He's not
Yeah.
here in the top 10. So it's kind of like I mean, yeah, you have a win streak going, but it's not like a
Yeah.
beefy win streak.
Yeah, like
So
which this is what I hate, because he was supposed to fight, Islam was supposed to fight Benil Dariush, and then they were like, oh, they're not making the fight, but then they're gonna fight at the same fight, like at the same fight card, and
fight
you're
night,
like,
yeah.
what? Like, what's going on? Like, what? Like, come on. Like, they should have just done that fight to make sure, okay, this guy's really good. You know, he deserves this, because I don't think he deserves that title shot at all. He's talking so much shit saying he does, but I'm like, not even close, bro. Like, no, like, what are you even talking about? You have that. You have
Yeah.
that Dana and Habib privilege right there. It's a 2-in-1 combo. That's why he
I
has
know,
that title.
and yeah, and they've been talking a lot. Like they've been talking a lot of smack, which is really rare because like when Habib was fighting, he was like, "Oh no, I'm all about the respect stuff and not
Yeah,
talking."
humble.
But now he's over here talking smack about saying Charles isn't gonna show up on fight night. It's like, bro, like
I know, like especially when you mixed, like you got lucky with your weight. You know, they Charles Oliveira had the worst of luck.
bro,
Everything was against him, and look at him, bro. Like he ended up dominating that fight. You know, like it's like he
yeah,
showed. Yeah, like
that
you missed
sucks.
weight.
And it's like point five, like half an ounce.
After
Or
now,
yeah, it was like point 0.5 of an ounce. It doesn't compare like how Hamzat almost 8 pounds. Like, come on, like you can't just say like, oh, I mean, obviously they are on the same field because they did miss weight, but you
yeah,
can't say like, oh, like Charles didn't have that much of a weight advantage against
yeah,
Gaethje, so it was like, come on. And then well, yeah,
yeah.
like half of the time, well, or most of like on some of his fights he'd pull out because either he couldn't make the weight or because like he was having
Tiramisu.
tiramisu. He was just having those troubles like dropping the weight. So I don't know. I mean, it's weird that he's now a talker when he's not
Yeah,
fighting. So,
yeah, I
but I mean,
know.
it will be an interesting fight. I am rocking with Dubronx
The Bronx.
because I went against them again. I went against them against the DP fight, and after the DP fight, I was like, "Yeah, I'm on Dubronx. I'm on the Dubronx train right now."
No. Well, for me, I'm on the Bronx train. I have him for winning against Dustin Poirier, because I didn't think Dustin Poirier was all that, just because he beat Connor. You know, like it's like that guy's coming off, like fighting once whenever he wants. So that's why I was all like, he doesn't deserve like to be up there or having that title shot yet. But
Yeah,
I did think he was gonna lose against Justin Gaethje, so that one really shocked me, and that's where I was like, okay, this guy deserves his respect. I was like, I gotta give it to him, and there's still so many people thinking he's gonna lose. Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
I know,
That
and
is
I'm like,
crazy.
bro, Dubronx all day, and then freaking Islam was like, "Oh, he doesn't even speak English." I was like, "Bro, your English is trash too."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh." But he's on the freaking DC and RC show, or featured DC.
And then DC just like, oh my god, you
He's
can
over here like
so
he's just trying
biased,
to freaking. I mean, it's his boy, but relax, DC. Come on. Yeah, but I think one of the biggest questions for that fight is gonna be like, hey, is Charles really gonna make that weight? Because that's probably one of the biggest questions is he gonna be able to make that weight? I
Yeah,
mean, it was point 0.5 of an ounce, so I'm pretty sure he is gonna make the weight. Especially now, I feel like he wants to prove that he can make the weight, and the Islam's been talking, so he wants to shut him up. So
yeah,
I'm pumped for that fight. And then
that's
the co-main is Aljo and Dillashaw.
the
So
shot.
that's gonna be a good fight because I mean, uh, Aljo is a good wrestler. He is a good wrestler. So, and Dillashaw is more. I want to say he's
Like,
better at like mixing striking and wrestling. So it'll be a good fight to see. Like how. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I hope it's like a good mix of both, like striking and then taking down and doing some scrambles.
Mhm.
Than it is just I don't want to see a wrestling match.
Yeah, I feel he is gonna try wrestling him, because TJ Dillashaw,
Yeah,
he has some of the best striking out there. You saw how he did against Sanhagen, which is a guy that's known for striking. So
yeah,
when you beat a guy it's like their best technique. It's like you know that guy's really really good in that area too, and especially Dillashaw. He's been saying a lot that like he's like, hey, my wrestling's really good. Because he did come from division. I think it was Division 1. I'm not sure, Division 1. College wrestling. So he does have that wrestling background. But it would have to see how he does with like all like the jiu-jitsu stuff and you know. But yeah, I'm going for Dillashaw for that fight. I don't like Aljamain Sterling. I never think he deserved the fight. I don't think he won that last fight. So yeah, I have no credit towards Aljamain Sterling, none whatsoever. So I want him to lose personally. Who do you think's gonna?
That I mean, his fight against Jan was. I feel like what caused Jan to lose was he was fighting really emotional. Like he was just fighting angrier, and he just wanted to put Aljo's lights out. But I mean, Aljo was able to kind of keep him at the distance or incorporate his takedowns to prevent that from happening. So I feel like if Jan wouldn't have fought emotionally, he probably could have won the fight.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like he was winning. Like their first fight, he was doing better. Before the illegal knee, like he was getting the better rounds against Aljo. So it was surprising to see Jan fight really emotional.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I think I don't know. I want to say Aljo might. I don't know because TJ's really good.
Hot take. You think Aljo's gonna take it?
I don't know because I mean people really thought that Jan was gonna win, and he was able to just wrestle and backpack him.
I give him that fight. I give him the first round. I don't care, bro. Jan took that first round. Aljamain striking is the worst striking I've ever seen. Who throws like this, bro? It's like come on.
That first round was close because it just there wasn't too much activity to judge from either end. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in a while. I probably need to rewatch it to see how much activity there was. But when we were watching it live, like it was just hard to judge that first round because like both fighters didn't really throw as much.
Yeah, they're all cautious.
Round 1 is probably the one that was the.
It just decides what wins. Like why they gave them the fight,
Yeah, because 2 and 3 was Aljo all day, and then 3 and 4 and 5 was Jan. So
yeah,
it was just that first round.
Yeah,
but,
and
I mean, I don't know. I think Aljo. Well, if Aljo just wrestles and keeps Dillashaw on the ground, I feel like Aljo will win because of points or whatever. But if Dillashaw is able to kind of prevent the takedowns or at least like kind of reverse them or something, like Dillashaw has more potential to win is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah,
I think I'd go with Dillashaw too, but
yeah, I want Dillashaw to win.
I mean, it'll be good. Well, it'll be interesting because if Dillashaw wins, then they probably will give Merab a shot or something after a fight. I think Merab should at least fight one more top contender
and then
before
give a
shot.
Yeah, I think that too. That would be perfect, for him to get that. Because like I wouldn't think if like let's say this guy wins, I really wouldn't think they would give him the shot to Merab because they're both teammates, and I don't think I think they've said it that they don't want to fight each other, right? Yeah, so that's just weird. But and then after before that fight, we have another fight that's in that division, which is Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan.
Yeah,
that one's gonna be a really good fight too. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. Yeah,
because Sean O'Malley is talking smack or shit already. He was all like, I'm not even gonna get punched once. I was like, oh, that's some big talk, bro. That's some big talk.
Yeah, I want to say as long as like Peter doesn't fight emotional, like he should be able to
dominate that fight. Because
And
I
then,
mean, I
well,
think he's one of the best pound for pound out there,
oh,
Petr Yan. So yeah,
well,
I really do think Jan's gonna have that pressure going in. Like he's just gonna pressure him because you know how he has that Muay Thai, like that high guard, like having his legs ready. So I feel he's just gonna dominate.
yeah.
Which is go for it.
Oh, it just sucks that like Sean's previous fight, we really weren't able to see anything. I mean, because
Yeah.
I mean, one round you can't say like, oh yeah, like because I won this one round, I was gonna win all five. Like it's like, come on, relax. Like I mean, and it's not like that first round was dominance by Sean. It was just like, I mean, most of the
Yeah.
time, like the first round where you just kind of like collect data and see what the reactions are, and then round 2 and 3, that's where you then just like implement whatever your
Uh-huh.
game plan. But I mean, it kind of sucks that Sean has that. He just talks like, oh, first guy to stop Pedro Munoz.
Oh my god, bro! I know. God.
Like when he lost to Cheeto Vera, he's like, oh, I'm still undefeated. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like,
Take
you just
take
got
that
bit.
loss. If
Yeah.
not, then finish the fight. Like come on.
Yeah. And, like, he's like one of those two where he's just hasn't been. I mean, Pedro Munoz. I mean, Cheeto Vera was like on the come up as well, but I think top 10 maybe or top 15. I want to say, but like his next ranked opponent was Pedro Munoz, so it's kind of like it's one of those like what could have been type of scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Sean O'Malley fight the best of the best in the bantamweight.
Yeah, he just
So
had a big jump, so that was
yeah,
crazy. Because I don't think
I
we've
do.
ever
I do.
seen.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever seen Jan hurt. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
think I've ever seen him hurt. So, and he has a good chin because he
yeah,
would like all the shots he took from, especially from Corey Sandhagen. So like, and he was taking some knees too to the head. So he can take a shot or two. So I think Petr Yan's gonna win it. I'm sticking towards it. I don't think unless it's like if I'm watching the fight and in like the first round I see like Sean O'Malley like is really coming strong. Cause don't forget also Petr Yan is a really, really slow fighter, which I hate from him. He's a slow fighter, so he really if he does lose the first round, like let's say he was really slow, if he does lose the first round, he's gonna have to increase it right away in the second one, or start off a bit more fresh,
yeah. Because I think it's a 3 round fight. So here they were gonna have to start at a faster pace than Jan's probably the only one that's fought
5
5
rounds.
rounds. So he's gonna have to pick up the pace slightly faster. But yeah, I mean, it kinda, I do wonder what the thought process was to make the Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley fight. Like what the reasoning was behind it. I mean, it's a good fight, and it's obviously getting people to talk about it. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like I wonder what went behind that, because it's like, how do you go from Pedro Munoz to then
One of the best.
one of the top 2 guys
Yeah.
in Dillashaw, excluding the champ?
Yeah. I mean, what I want to happen is I want these two to I want what's this guy's name? TJ to win and Jan to win, and then them setting them up. That would be like you would be like, okay, this fight here is like really who's really the pound for pound bantamweight as we speak. So that's what I'm hoping for. Sometimes things will go the way you want them to, but we'll see what happens. Like that's gonna be really interesting. All these fights are coming up; they're all good. I'm pretty sure there's way more other fights that if we look at, we'll be like, okay, this one's gonna be good, and stuff like that. Like
Go ahead.
Thug Nasty returning to the cage.
Yes,
Thug
sir.
Nasty. What's he
Bryce
fighting?
I think he's fighting Calvin Cater.
No, that's our Arnold Allen.
Oh, that's right. Arnold Allen, Calvin
Allen.
Kattar. No, Thug Nasty's fighting.
I forgot who's.
I know he's in the top 10. Oh, is it? No, it's not Emmett. Uh,
Let's see. He is fighting.
it's not till. Is it till next year? It's next year, right?
Really? I thought it was at the end of this year.
Oh, in December.
I think that's what I thought. I'm not sure then. Let me see.
Let me see.
Damn, it really doesn't show. Let me see. MMA. What's that thing? MMA. Hour? No. Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
who's.
Arnold Allen and Calvin Kattar.
That one's gonna be good because Arnold Allen, he's in the I think 10-fight win streak.
Yeah.
So that one's gonna be interesting because Calvin Kattar, he's there, he's so close, but I don't know. It's always that one last fight before getting that title shot where he messes up. That the title contender fight where he's messing up. So he just needs that one push. Because I think I give him the fight against Josh Emmett. I was there to see that fight, so I gave him that fight. But yeah, they weren't really doing anything, either one of them. So they just gave it to Josh Emmett. I guess they saw more outcome from him. But yeah, I mean, Calvin Kattar is just up there. He's just one good win. I feel if he beats. Nah, it's because there's still other guys that want that title shot, so I wouldn't exactly know how it would go there. But yeah, he's one of those fighters that is like, okay, he's so close for the title shot, but he just can't pull it off.
Yeah. Can't find it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is it in the Canyon?
Oh, MMA Junkie's the one that posted it. MMA Junkie.
Or it might be in the. Let's see. Bryce Mitchell.
Let me see. Oh, Bo Nick was fighting this week.
Oh yeah, Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah, in the Dana White Contender Series. That one's gonna be good. So I hope he wins to get that contract. But I think so. We'll see how that's going. Let me see. I think I can just search it up here on their stuff. Let me find it. Damn, I really cannot find it.
Yeah, I know. What the heck?
Let me just search up. What the heck is this?
It's not here on the UFC thing.
Let me see.
See if it's on Wikipedia. No. Just shows that he beat Edson Barbosa.
These are all ago. 3 years, 4 years, load more. Yeah, it's not showing anything. What the heck? And these guys were the ones that posted it. Unless they took it down or something. Let me check.
Oh, was it against the Korean Zombie? No, right?
No. Oh, I think so. Let me see. That means I think that is it.
Because it's not. I want to see it might have been against the Korean Zombie.
Let me Junkie. Let me see if they show it here. Oh, I can't find it. Oh no, I found it. Mozart Evloev.
Evloev?
Yeah, November 5th actually. Yeah, he's fighting. Let me see if that guy's ranked or not.
November 5th. Is that a fight night?
Fight night. at Las Vegas.
Well, but they haven't put it.
He's fighting the number 10. So he's Bryce Mitchell's number 9. He's fighting number 10. But yeah, they haven't announced anything yet. Because I know someone made I think someone made like a fake tweet about him saying he's like, I'm gonna wrestle the fuck, or oh no, I know what it is. I know what they said. They said like something but like religious towards because the guy's Muslim. He's like I'm gonna wrestle like, and then they said like some stuff. Yeah, it was dumb, but I think he Thug Nasty was all like, no, I didn't tweet this. This wasn't me. Oh, no, that's funny.
That's gonna be a good. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they bring up. All the divisions actually are pretty popping right now.
Yeah, there's some that are more active than others, though.
Yeah, well, I think lightweight's pretty active. Welterweight, welterweight here and there. Well, actually, Sean Brady and Bilal are fighting on that same.
I'm with the most hated guy on this podcast, personally. I don't like him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just don't like that they don't mix it up, like Bilal just wrestles, like we know he's going to wrestle, so it'd be cool. I mean, just mix it up, mix up your striking with your wrestling.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Khabib is just, he just wrestled and it's like, bro, come on. Like, people are getting mad at Wonder Boy because it's like, okay, he just strikes, but it's like, okay, what about all the wrestlers? Like, they just wrestle.
Yeah, so they just wrestle.
And I mean, like, yeah, like, obviously for Wonder Boy, it's like, yeah, you do have to, like, have a good concept for all of them, right? Striking, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. But it goes the same for the wrestlers. Like, I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, you can't just be wrestling and hugging the dude for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of what sucked.
And then throwing a weak punch here and there. Like, you're just like...
Yeah, but it'll be good because, like, Bilal and Brady are both
wrestlers.
Yeah, they're both wrestlers. So usually when it's two wrestlers, it turns into a striking battle. So it'll be cool to see what. And Sean Brady's undefeated right now, so it'll be cool.
And I think he has some power, because I think he has like some knockouts, right? I'm not sure.
So, yeah, I know. Well, I know he tapped out Chiesa.
Oh yeah, he tapped him out.
Yeah, he beat him. I think it was a rear naked choke.
He has 3 wins by knockout, so he has some knockout wins.
Yeah,
but yeah, his last fight. He beat Chiesa. Yeah, that one's out.
Chiesa by, I think it was a RNC.
Let me see. Recap.
No, it was unanimous.
Unanimous. Let me see. Let me see if it shows if he had knockdowns. No, yeah, he just beat him.
Yeah, it was unanimous. I thought it was by submission. Oh well, but I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what both of them do with their wrestling. He does have 4 wins by submission.
Because he doesn't have that many fights this year. Yeah, he's 15-0. He's finished 7 fights. So it's like what, like almost 50%.
So around there, yeah. Yeah, but that 280 card in Abu Dhabi is pretty stacked.
Yeah. Who else is fighting? Let me see.
Well, it just shows them here on UFC and the ESPN site. It just shows the main card is just Charles versus Islam, Aljamain and Dillashaw, and then Peter and Sean is the main card.
Oh, also the dude from that flyweight, Mohammed Mokaev, the guy that's trying. He's in the prelims.
Oh yeah, Mohammed Mokaev.
Yeah, I know he's trying to get the youngest UFC champion. thing. So we'll see. He's talking a lot with that. So we'll see how he does. But right now he needs to fight guys that are. If he wants that, he needs to start fighting ranked guys. So I don't know. We'll see
Yeah,
that.
well, I think he's at. Is he at 125? Yeah.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be cool to see how he does against the top 10 in the flyweights.
Yeah, to see if he's ready.
Because I think, yeah, uh, Brandon Moreno has the interim, so they're obviously gonna make the fourth fight
Yeah.
against Figgy.
El Davison contra el Figgy. We'll see. We'll see with that.
Yeah, so Zubaira Tukagov against Lucas Almeida. Volkan Ozdemir against Nikita Krylov. That'll be a banger. Just
Oh yeah.
striking.
Yeah, Vulcan, he always trying to go for that knockout.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with him. Because who did he beat recently? I know he beat someone good.
He beat Paul Craig.
Oh, Paul Craig. Oh,
decision.
yeah, that's true. At the UFC London.
Yeah, because Paul Craig just wanted to
Yeah, he
turn
was
it
just
into a
playing in the
jiu-jitsu
back.
match.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, now Paul Craig ruined it all. That's horrible. That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess Paul Craig, because he did hurt him, because he'd drop him sometimes, some of the times. So it was, I guess Paul Craig didn't want any of that smoke.
Yeah, he want to get knocked out. And Paul Craig.
Paul Craig.
Yeah.
Bilal against
Sean Brady.
Benil Dariush against
Gamrot.
Mateusz Gamrot, coming off the win against Arman Sarukin.
El Benny. I hope Benio wins because they low-key been doing him a bit wrong, but I hope he wins it. Because like I know he had said he's like, hey, everyone who beat Tony Ferguson got a title match except me. so that's what sucks, which was true. But damn, it's because also, I guess because he's not like as a big name, or like as much people aren't talking as much as him, so they don't give him that push,
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Apparently he's a backup too, because they don't think Charles Oliveira is gonna. Oh, that's so much disrespect towards Charles, but people just like talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, but it's good that they have those backup, like they have multiple fights with the same weight class, because I mean, it came in handy against the Diaz Chimaev debacle.
That's true. That did come in handy. That was all crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been interesting. Diaz versus Ferguson earlier in their careers. That would have been nice to see what could have happened.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, Diaz, I don't know, he's a bit old too, but we'll see. I mean, because I don't think he performed that well. It was like a close fight, but I don't think it was like if it would have gone to the judges, I don't even know how they would have had it, honestly. But yeah, Diaz, I don't know. He says he wants to do boxing, and he's another one that has that dirty style of boxing. You get me? That's like
it'll be interesting to see what his next move is.
I did hear he's talking with Scott Coker with Bellator, so we'll see if that happens or not. I mean, who's the 170? Yeah, there's some killers there in Bellator that aren't talked about, but we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, the biggest thing he could probably do is go boxing, because it's like, I don't know, I mean, if he goes and does jiu-jitsu, like I don't think many, like I don't even know if there's jiu-jitsu like just like fight nights for jiu-jitsu. I mean, I know there's like those like
special ones that they have, like special nights.
I know there's that world tournament or 80cc or something like that for just jiu-jitsu. Which I mean, he wants to do that, then
Yeah, I
by
feel
all means.
they have those, but yeah, it's not really as like televised, or like it's just like they're there for like to see who's the best,
Yeah,
with those. So yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that. This is
yeah.
a good episode. We got a lot of stuff content out of it. So
The fights
yeah,
are good. Is what we need. All we need. The biggest takeaway is fights are good. Fights are
fights are
good.
good. Fights are good. Fights are good.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, we'll see what happens. With our predictions if we're right or we're wrong. But yeah, I don't know if you want to say bye to the people that are listening, guys.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me in the episode. We'll see
Of
these
course.
fights how they play out. For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and guys, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel or just follow on like Instagram, TikTok, or where I put the podcast out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It would mean a lot. Any support helps. But yeah, guys, thank you. Don't forget, let's get to 100 subscribers. There's gonna be something special. I've said it before. You guys just keep looking out. But yeah, guys, thank you. Don't forget, drink your water. Bye.